Well, a researcher at the Wuhan Institute of Virology has made astonishing claims about coronavirus, saying that the virus was engineered by China as a bioweapon and that his colleagues were given 4 strains of the virus to find out which could spread best. Now, Chao Shao, a researcher from Wuhan, made these shocking revelations. Let's go across to Ankit, who's reporting from the Mumbai newsroom on this. Ankit, good afternoon. These are, of course, shocking revelations that have come in. Now, give us more details of what he suggests.
I mean, this is a very murky revelation that has come in from a researcher at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. He says a couple of things. One is that he confirms indubitably that the COVID virus was a bioweapon engineered in a lab. He says that there were 4 strains that were made, and on 2 different occasions, researchers were sent out in an effort to find out which of these strains spreads the most. So he says during the 2019 World Military Games that were held in Wuhan, some of the researchers from the Wuhan Institute of Virology, they went to these games and they tried to spread this virus. They said that there was no business of these virologists being there because they were sent for hygiene purposes. So why would you send virologists? Why would you send researchers? And then another group of people was also sent to the Uyghur camps in Xinjiang in China, where the Uyghur Muslims have been detained in huge numbers for a long time. It's a human rights abuse that's taken place there. And he says that researchers were sent there also to find out which of these strains can spread. And so this is after 3 years of the COVID pandemic breaking out, a big revelation that's come in. We've seen how, and Republic TV has investigated how gain of function research was taking place at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. There was a senior virologist there by the name Shi Zhengli, and she over the years had conducted a number of experiments on bat coronaviruses in order to find out which of these can most notably resemble the original SARS virus. The COVID virus is called the SARS-CoV-2 virus. It was similar, not the same, but it was a bat coronavirus. And so we know this was going on there. They never really satisfied the questions of the World Health Organization team that went to investigate. The US investigation was also inconclusive. China claimed that it was a jump from a bat to a human, but it may not have been the case. And now this is a big revelation.
Now, you know, Ankit, there was a document that was released on the 23rd of this month, essentially from the US intelligence community. Now, in that report, it indicates essentially that the Wuhan Institute of Virology first possessed the SARS-CoV-2 virus in late December 2019. So the timing of, these revelations that are coming in from this researcher and that report, does seem to somehow tie in.
Most definitely, because Wuhan Institute of Virology was conducting this research on bat coronaviruses. There are published materials every year, and increasingly the research was turning into a phase where they were getting viruses and they were trying to modify them a little bit. And so up till that year, there is plenty of evidence, published evidence to document this. It was also a BB4 high-level secure research facility, and one wonders what that facility was doing there. And that is also a question, and also merely the fact that the SARS-CoV-2 virus, COVID, broke out in Wuhan, and this virology institute, this advanced virology institute, just happens to also be studying bat coronaviruses right there. It is also the first lab that mapped the genome of this virus. It was the lab and the researcher that was first called in to investigate this virus. So there are a lot of questions. There is some kind of link perhaps between the Wuhan Institute of Virology and the COVID virus, but China has so far been very opaque about whether or not it will allow people to investigate it, and its own answers have not been forthcoming. The researchers don't talk. This is a rare researcher who's talking.